friends, today we're going to do another digital plan with me. I'm using the Tropicana digital creative kit from Planners Anonymous. I've shown these before, but I really enjoy working with them. Let me give you a quick overview of what they're like. So when you download them, you can open the file. You'll have to extract it, but there are a couple different folders. There's like the quotes and wordfetti, which is like words, as you can imagine. There's the papers here. These are 12 by 12, like resolution to print them 12 by 12, which is awesome. There's, I think, 12 different papers. Usually there's 6 prints and 6 like watercolor backgrounds. And then there's this one, which is full of transparent background PNG art. So this is where we're going to be spending the bulk of our time. It's really awesome. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to plan this on my B6 wide layout. This is a layout that I have designed and is on my website. This is a week on one page layout because we're going to put a big piece of art here on the left. Each of these boxes here on the right is the size of a Erin Condren sized full box sticker. So a little small, but like not tiny. And I don't have a ton of things going on in any given day, so that's going to be good enough for me. So a little background here on what's going on. I'm doing this in Silhouette Studio, which is the software that comes with the Silhouette cutting machines. However, you don't need a cutting machine to use the software. And I find that this is one of the best designing softwares that's like easily available. I think you could easily also do this in Canva. Left to my own devices, I would do this in one of the Affinity programs, but that is more expensive. Silhouette Studio is free. And almost everything I'm going to be doing you can do in the free version. I have the designer edition, which is one level up. There's one key thing that I'm going to do that you don't have to do, and I will make sure to point that out. But what I've done so far is open, and these are all my different layouts. I've opened the PDF, I've imported it as an image, and I imported it at 300 dpi. Then what I did is I went here to change the size of my paper, and I set it to 11 across and 7 tall. And then I selected this, and I went and centered it, so it was on the left, centered it in my page, and that is all you've missed so far. The one thing that I'm going to do that's like making use of the Designer Edition is Designer Edition has layers, which is here on the right. The free edition does not have that. What I'm going to do is make a new layer, and then select this layer that has my layout in it, and I'm going to lock it. That means that I can't accidentally click on it and move it around. If you don't have the upgrade, you can't lock it, and it just means you need to be careful not to click and move it around by accident, which can happen. That's the only thing I'm going to be doing that requires the upgrade. So I leave that up to you. It's about $50, but I will leave a link below for a place where you can get the upgrade for $35. There are other nice features in this, but really what I use it for is the locking layers, which I use and like a lot. But I had this software for months before I ever upgraded, and there's no need to upgrade until you're ready or ever. I should clarify too that we're not actually cutting anything with an electronic cutter today. I'm just putting art down, printing it, trimming the paper with a paper trimmer, punching it, and putting it in my planner. Nothing actually fancy from the cutting perspective is happening. So I want to make that clear. All right, now that we've got the technical stuff out of the way, we can start playing. And I'm just going to start pulling art onto the board that I think I might want. We will arrange it and stuff later. I'm just going to fast forward as I pull some of these. So the art comes in way bigger than you need to use it. Like this one you see is like 11 inches wide. That's because it's been uploaded at a resolution that it could print that way, but we will shrink it way smaller, don't worry. All right, I have to keep zooming out because, just so you know, because if you are dragging and dropping a piece of art into Silhouette Studio, if you drag it over an object, it tries to fill that object with this thing. So I need it to not be on top of anything else as I drag it. All right, so I've pulled a whole bunch of art. It's huge, and I will make it smaller. But here's what I mean by like transparent background PNG is that you can layer them on top. There's no background around this sign. Now what I need is I plan on using one of the papers or a scene here on the left side of the page. So I'm going to go grab that. So none of these papers are a scene really. They're all like patterns and they're gorgeous, but they're not really what I'm looking for. But on the website there is this phone background, this one here, and I happen to know that that's a resolution that is big enough for my B6 wide page. So I'm going to use that because these flamingos are living the kind of life I would like to. So first what I'm going to do though is I just want to make sure that it's the right part of the page. So I'm going to draw a box that's here on the edge, and I want it to be, I'll set it at 7 inches tall, which is the width of my paper, and 5.5 inches wide, which is wider than the width of my spread, but the size of half the size of my paper. And I'll put it here in the middle. That's going to give me a good idea of how to like arrange this. So I'm just going to see where I want it to crop. I can make this a little smaller so I don't cut off anybody's beak, and I'd like to get a little more of this sunset in. Okay, so I'm gonna select that box and my sheet. I'm gonna go to this modify panel and I'm gonna click intersect, and that trims the like picture to the size of the box that I had made. And now I'm ready for all the art that I'm going to put on the other side. I'm not going to put a whole lot here on the left because it's pretty and I like it. We need to do some decorating here on the right, and the first step is to make this stuff not be huge. So let's see what this looks like if it's, instead of 72 inches wide, if it's the width of my page, which is 5.5. Oh, and I want to hit this lock key here so that it transforms evenly. Okay, so this is a little short for what I want, so I'm going to make it bigger, and the fact that it's going to run off the page is fine with me because it won't print. It's bigger than the page, and I'm actually going to redistribute because I kind of like this like hiding flamingo. So it's just running off under this picture here. And I think that's really cute for the bottom of the page. I really like this divider. Let's try making it about 3 box widths, which is 4.5 wide. I'm going to do something, so you see these red outlines, these are for cutting. They're not part of the art. I'm going to click Control A, and that's going to select everything, and I'm going to go here to where that outline is, and I'm going to pick this no outline. And now all of that red is gone, because that's not actually a part of the art, and it's distracting, and because I'm not cutting, I don't need it. I'm just as glad if it's gone. Alright, I like to use these big things as like boxes, essentially. So let's try doing that. I'm going to have to shrink them way down. Let's see how I feel about them being 1.5 inches wide. So then, okay, that's interesting. They're pretty much box sized. I don't think I want them quite that big. I'm just going to make it like this size here, and then I can write here. I'm not worried about covering up my dates. I'm going to come back and add those later. So what did I set this one at? This one is at 1.325 width. So I'm going to make this one the same size, and I kind of want to make like a pile. I've had to zoom like way out because of how big all this art is. But we like it that the art is big. It means we can print it nicely. And then I'm going to select the one that I want on front and bring it to the front. There. So I just want this like pattern. It's too busy for me to like write on or whatever, so I just want it like sneaking out. As I said, we're going to get to the date covers later. Right now I'm worrying about boxes. So let's do 1.325 again, and I'm going to pair that one with this one I have here. I know I want this one to be on front, so I've right-clicked on it, bring to front, and I'm going to again rotate it. I'm going to rotate this one. I like it when things like break the planes. That's personal preference, but I personally like it. Now I'm going to right-click this and bring to front, and then like rearrange it so that more of the box is showing. So again, now I just have this pattern like sneaking out the back, but I've got most of the like writing space that I need here. And I'm going to do that one more time with this one. I thought I had a pink one here. Yeah. I don't need the stamp to be the same size. I want that to be on top, but if I make it smaller, then I have plenty of room to write here on Saturday and here in the white space on Sunday. All right, I think we're a surprising portion of the way there. Now I'm ready for like just some deco. I think I'm gonna take this little picnic scene and shrink it. I'll come back and fix that. I kind of want this toucan. Again, I'm just shrinking it so that it's like closer. And let's see about this sign. I'm gonna right click it and bring it to the front because I might want it on top, but I always pull more than I need. So it's possible that not everything that's on here will make it to the final draft here. All right, let's make this a little smaller. Still want to be able to write on Tuesday. Let's bring this to the front. It's too big. I'm gonna right click it and try flip horizontally. I like this idea, but I don't like that the toucan's beak kind of blends in to this color here. I wonder if I wish I had a different color. Let's go look. All right, let's try the green. I kind of want to do like another washi strip across the top here, or like divider or whatever. So the washi strip is directional, and in order to have it across the top, I would need to have my flamingos upside down, but there are some dividers in here. I just need to find them here. All right, I think it's maybe time to start thinking date covers. And I was thinking I would use these strips here. And I know on like general principles that I like these to be 0.25 inches tall and a little less than 1.5 inches wide. So I'm doing it 1.3 by 0.25. That's just because I've done this before and I have a pretty good idea of what I like. Let's go arrange these. I would really like to have some more colors. Let me pause real quick, see what I can find in other kits. All right, so the Forest Falls kit has a yellow banner. That's a good color match. And while I'm here, I'm also going to take this habit tracker. Alright, this is the note to self one, and it's got this same banner in a pink that's really close, so I've pulled that. Alright, this is kind of a weird pull, but Country Cottage has some like bluish green that I like, so I'm going to take the scroll ribbon and this banner. Now, you don't need to have all of these different kits. I have them already, so I may as well use them for the pieces that I want, but you don't need them all by any means. I've just gotten rid of the red outline because I find it distracting. Alright, let's adjust these to size as well. Alright, I kind of want this banner here. I don't know about this interface. We will get to that. We could always move this stuff maybe up a little. Cutting off a lot of the flower. I don't know. We'll come back to it. The nice thing about working digitally, right, is you can always change it. You don't have to worry about picking up the sticker. And alright, time to do date covers. Alright, I actually don't want this at the top, on top of everything. I could if it really mattered to me that I could like see the date, but most of these are going to be visible, and so I'm going to be able to figure out what the date for this day is based on the dates around it. But I guess I'll leave it there for the moment because I'll still put the date on it, and then send it to the back. So I could use this blue. I want another blue one, but because this one is from a different kit, it's a little bit different, but I feel it's a little grayer, but I feel like it still goes, but I kind of want to include another one just to tie it together. Alright, and then I'm going to select all the ones that are in a row together and align them to each other at the top, just so that they're all lined up, and do that for each of these rows. And then where do I want to put this habit tracker? I could make it smaller. I could put it in my scene. Look at how good a color match that is. As I said, this is from Forest Falls. Maybe I'll like hide it here. I usually track 2 things these days. My options I think are here or here, but I do start to lose that space. Alright, I don't think that's the right place for it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put some dates on, fast forward this for you, and get that done. Alright, so I've aligned it over. Actually, I'll copy it and paste it so that I have more to work with. But as I said, I want some of these to be in the background, so I'm selecting it and the piece behind it, right-clicking and doing send. Oop. No, not to send to back. Okay, if I send it to back, it goes behind, like, even my document. So what I'm going to do is select the things I want on top of it and right-click and do bring to front. And that will essentially send it to back. So I can't read that, but that's okay, because for me, because I will be able to read this Tuesday one. After years of practice, I do know the days of the week and the order they go in. Alright, so I have these dated. I'm going to again select the art that I want on top and to do bring to front. So again, I can't see Friday. It's fine. Doesn't bother me, although it didn't look bad in front, so you know, your mileage may vary. I have to decide what I want to name these other boxes. I think I'm going to say this week. And this is a box that I'm using to take note of what I've made that week. Alright, I think the right side is done. So I just need some stuff here for the left, like to date it. Okay, a thing to take note of here is that B6 is a little shorter, like less wide than the 11 inches I have this set for. So I want to make sure that I'm not putting things that I need right up against the edge. I only trim off like a tiny bit, but I don't want to trim it off And I'm going to make these a little smaller. They're not actually going in a box, so I don't need them to be box sized. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm missing here is that currently on my spreads, I've been having like a gratitude box, and that's one of the things that got like cut from the week on one page layout here. So I'm gonna look around and see if I can find something that like blends in nicely that would go here. I think I like the speech bubble. It's a little silly, but I kind of like a little silly. And then I was gonna do this little heart thing. I just don't know about 2 of these like pointy guys. I think there might be a regular heart somewhere. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, so there's one here that says love this. Let's try that one instead. So really what I want to make sure is that I leave like this scene feeling like intact and charming. I don't want to dilute it too much. So I'm just going to see if I like any ways of combining these things. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to make this print properly. Okay, so I figured it out. Let me show you what I did. So this is how it was going to print because it knew it was a letter-sized paper and it thought it was in portrait. But actually, what I did was set it to letter, which is actually the size I want it to print to. And now it does this, which is correct. What I'm going to do is move all of this stuff so that it's centered, and that means I can print things on the other side and have them line up properly. So I'm just going to drag, select all this stuff. Well, first let me delete some of the stuff I'm not using. All right, I'm going to right click and, oh, okay, before I do this, I'm going to unlock my layer here. Now I can select all of this stuff and group them, right click and do group. Now I can go to like this line and center it to the page, but that doesn't quite work. Here, I'm gonna undo. Everything is ungrouped. I'm gonna move this off because that's what's causing it to not be centered. I'm gonna select everything else and group it. I'm gonna put that in the middle of the page. And now, if I went to print it, this is centered. And then I'm going to now take these. I'm going to bring them to front. And then I just need to get an idea of where I want it to be. So this is the edge of my page. I'll delete that in a minute. I just want like a little bit peeking out. All right, delete that. So when I print this, there's going to be extra here that I'm going to print off, and I'm fine with that. Okay, I think we are done here. So if I were to print it like this, I would trim it down to B6 wide, which is 5.3 by 7. And then I can punch it. Oh, we're going to punch this guy right in the face. Punch it and put it in my planner, and I'm ready for next week. So I'm in Michigan, and this spread is very antithetical to the vibe and the winter that we are currently having. It is cold, it is dark, it is dreary, and I just need an emotional break for it. So we're doing a little escapism today and just channeling some beautiful tropical feels. But if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. There's a playlist that I will link right now to all my other digital plan with me's, because I think it's kind of a fun technique. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below and I will do my best to help you out. All right, bye friends.